Hey guys, how's it going today? My name's Jake, and thought I'd make this YouTube channel just to talk about this massive epidemic that's going on in society at the moment with hormone regulation and how to optimize your hormones and lifestyle and basically self-improvement, how that's all going to be affecting us going forward in the future. I've got some pretty interesting topics on this subject. I think you'd get some value out of it. You'd be surprised as well, how the effects have changed over the years from our family, our great grandparents, things like that. How the basically hormone profiles have declined, and everything's down regulated. It can be a factor of the foods we're eating, the living conditions we're exposed to, the sleep conditions, the location in the world we're living, or allergies, pollutants, all things like that. How it's impacting our health and more importantly our hormones, and how we can improve on that in regards to your self-improvement. So it's going to be a series of videos. It's going to be too much to include into one video, but there's so many different topics that are going to relate around health. Now, when we look at the top 1% of people out there, even if we look at characters from fictional, non-fictional characters from movies, businesses, empires, leaders of all these top tier people. We go as far back to look at Genghis Khan and Julius Caesar, these emperors, these even modern day. Like we look at a fictional character like James Bond and things like that. Do you think these characters or these people of society would have low testosterone, or do you think they'd have high testosterone? We can look back at them as examples and take them and their ideology and the philosophy that they've left behind and incorporate that into our lives, and we can think, how can we become that 1%? Even with all these successful business people and the top performers of each company and these entrepreneurs, the common correlation between them all is that drive, that ambition, the confidence, the decisiveness, and this all stems from having high testosterone. And that's why it's such an epidemic in today's society, where we're plagued with these damaged endocrine systems and hormones. And how can we reverse this damage that's been done over years, and what can we do to come back to our prime, to our former glory, so to speak, and see what we can do here to improve these test levels. And there's going to be a whole range of things we're going to cover, like sleep and diet, nutrition, lifestyle habits, morning routines, some pseudoscience and esoteric stuff we're going to touch on, like grounding and meditation, spirituality, things like that. I think it's going to get pretty interesting in this series, and I hope you get some good value from it. I think the first topic we're going to be talking about today is the sun, the soul, and how important it is to be in direct contact with the sun. And we can go back and look at our previous generations. We can go back to even not that far back to our grandparents, and we can look at their living conditions, and we can see there's charts that show the gradual decline of testosterone among men, and it's something crazy. I think it's like a 40% decline since 2 generations back, which is craziness. And what's causing this? And one of the contributing factors is the sun. We spend so much of our time indoors now, thanks to this tech bubble. Not fault of our own, but the way society has developed, we're spending so much time indoors under these artificial fluorescent lights or LED lighting, or whatever you want to call it. We're not getting exposed to these UVB, UVA rays that the sun outputs. Now, why it's crucial to get these UVB rays, there's these keratinocytes in your skin cells, and when these cells get excited, they send a signal to your pituitary gland. And your pituitary gland, then once it receives a signal, it starts pushing out LH and FSH, which is your luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Now these are basically the go signals that go to your testicles to say, alright, you're nuts, let's produce some tests now. They're like the green light. You're sitting at a traffic light and it goes green, and okay, that's the LH. It's like, let's go, let's start ramping up production. That's why the sun is so crucial in that aspect. Also, the vitamin D that's absorbed through the sun, through our skin, because the skin is another crucial organ in regulating hormone production. And when vitamin D is absorbed transdermally through the skin, that sends that, when that's processed by the liver, that upregulates testosterone production too. And it not only improves the total testosterone production, but having elevated vitamin D levels from the sun naturally frees up all your testosterone as well. So you get an increased free testosterone. There's also another big factor here is the red light that comes from the sun in the AM hours of the morning. So as the sun's rising up in the morning and those sun rays are breaking through the atmosphere, we're getting it's a filter, like a slight filter as the sun rays break through. Now this filter, it allows the red lights or the red rays, that wavelength, I think, or whatever it is, that 650 or 640 nanometers of wavelength, that certain red light enters our eyes in the morning first thing. And when we see that through our nervous system, through our eyes, that sends the signal to our brain to start producing melatonin for the night that's about to come up. So your good night's sleep starts from the morning. You need to have that those red rays or those red light coming from the sun into your eyes. So when you do fall asleep that night, or when the sun does set, you set your circadian rhythm, and okay, right, I've got my morning sunlight. I've produced enough melatonin through the day to put me to sleep. If you find like you're indoors all day and you're not getting that initial red light in the morning, I think you'll have a harder time falling asleep. It's very interesting stuff, and I think there's so much we can take from this just from manipulating sunlight alone. That's just one good aspect of this, and you'll notice the changes. It's going to take a few days, like the damage that's been done of lack of sunlight, working indoors. It's years and years of damage that's wreaking havoc on your endocrine system. To reverse this damage is going to take time and some sacrifice, but yeah, you'll definitely notice a difference. Obviously, you don't want too much sun exposure because the UV rays can damage your skin and they can lead to like accelerated aging, wrinkles, and cancers and things like that under extreme circumstances. But that can all be mitigated as well with diet and avoiding seed oils and things like that, which we'll get into in another video. But on this video, I'm just going to keep it simple on sunlight and the sun rays and how important it is. And another important thing as well to keep in mind is when you're in the sun, there's key areas of your body that are more susceptible to absorbing the rays, the UVB rays, and synthesizing vitamin D from the sun. And those areas are like your forearms, your abdomen area. So they're areas you all want to expose to the sunlight. And the key thing here is to do not wash your skin like directly after sun exposure, because it takes a while for that to synthesize into your skin, the vitamin D. And going in the shower, scrubbing it off, you're washing off that work that you've done standing out in the sun. I believe it can take up to 12 hours to synthesize the vitamin D through transdermally. But that's why I'd recommend not showering straight away, letting your skin organ do its thing and synthesizing that vitamin D and absorbing those UVB rays. So really, you can't go wrong with that, like adding that into your morning routine. If you have the time permits, or if you can make adjustments to your morning routine, get out there, get that red sunlight in your eyes, get the sun on your skin, breathe in fresh air, that ionized air from the sun, and you'll notice a definite improvement in your day, a definite improvement in sleep quality. Your hormones will start to upregulate, especially testosterone. You'll feel more energy throughout the day, and this is something I can tell you, you're not going to know until you actually go and do it. And all I can do is recommend you to do this and try it. And if you got value out of this, then keep watching. Watch the next video, which I'm going to do. I think the next one I'll do based on sleep and sleeping habits, conditions, room temperature, what time to sleep, how long to sleep, and all that. So I'll see you on the next video, hopefully.